Hey everyone, Zach Childress here with your REI Success Academy, and we are coming back to you with another fabulous interview. Now, I know I haven't done one of these in a while, but it's because I've been saving the best for today, and you've got to be ready for today. It's a game changer, and if you're sitting still in your business and you're trying to figure out why you haven't grown, then there's a lot of things we've got to consider. And it's really about breaking down the truth on why you need more cash flow coming in and how easy it really can be. So this is like the next level. This is where you're going to take your business in the next 6 to 12 months. And this is a defining point in your business model as of right now. So I brought on a fabulous friend of mine. And not only has he been a friend, but he's become a partner in so many things. And this guy is just rocking and rolling. So before we get into all that, you can obviously tell I'm excited about doing this. I just want to make sure you guys are coming on board with me. I know we get a little late stragglers, and people tend to show up a few minutes late. But for all of you that are here early, kudos to you guys. But listen, come on board, come on board. As you're coming in, I just want to know where you're from. I want to know that you can hear me. Go over to your little question box and type in, "Hey Zach, I can hear you. I'm in Dallas, I'm in Tennessee, I'm in Colorado," just wherever you're at, so that I know that I'm not talking to thin air right now. So, here we go. Okay, loud and clear. Here, I'm here. Oh, what's this? Kansas. Oh, Kansas. Oh, man, they're all coming in now. I got Kansas, I got Oregon, I got Carolina, New Jersey, Florida. You guys are all over coming in. I love it. Obviously, you must have read our email and it struck a nerve with you because you are excited about being here. You guys are piling in. This is wild. I love this because you want to know, what is that next level? You are here for a reason, and you know that to get to tier 4, you've got to learn how to do that. And so I'm excited to be really co-presenting this with my good friend Andrew. And I just want to make sure Andrew's with us. Andrew, I think he's just checked on. Can you hear us out there, Andrew?
I can. Thank you, Zach.
Oh, there he is. Good stuff, man. I'm excited to have you here, buddy. All of our students and fans have jumped on this to hear your message, man. So this is something that is going to really resonate with not just the people on this call listening, but the people they share this with and tell others about what's going on, because this is a message that needs to be shared when it comes to how simple you've really laid this thing out for people to understand that they could be in the middle of cash flow deals right now and they're overcomplicating it. And I love the way that you keep things simple, and I love all of that. So listen, you guys know me, I could talk forever. I got somebody already typing in over here, "Zach, let him talk." So we'll let him talk. But before we do this, let me just give you a quick little background. I've known Andrew for many, many years. We've met out as we were helping teach people this business, and I saw some things he was doing different than a lot of these other guys that were really helping people to get to retirement through cash flow. And what I noticed, the biggest thing about what Andrew was doing is he was really keeping it very simple for people so that they could really understand it and really know that it's not that complicated. And so not only has he been great at helping students all over the country find the path to getting to that success, but the guy has the background to support everything he does. I mean, he's raised, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but the guy's raised over $750,000. $750 million. I mean, somebody that can raise over $750 million has got something dialed in. I mean, when you think about it, he's done over 20,000 transactions from East Coast to West Coast. He's helped students in over 38 different states across the United States. He's been in apartments, hotels, motels, cash flow properties, single families, and he's going to talk about all the difference and why we should be doing more multifamilies and how it's easier. He's fixed and flipped deals all over the place. The point being is that if he didn't have that type of background or resume, there's no way in the world I would have him on here sharing with you the secrets that he had and really his journey. And so what I really want him to do is not just share with you his journey, but I want him to share with you some of his success and how he was able to do that and how you can do it too. And so I'm going to be interviewing him today, and we're going to be talking about what worked for him and what didn't work for him. So, with that said, Andrew, I know you're on here, you're excited to get going, and I'm excited if you can't hear it in my voice. But at the end of the day, they're here to hear your story. So listen, there's some people that, are jumping on here and really want to know some meat and potatoes, and we're going to give that to them. But what are like 3 things that you're really going to unfold through? And I know you have so much more, but what are 3 things that you're going to teach them today and talk to them about that, is a big reason why they should stay on till the end?
Well, thanks, Zach. And yeah, there are way more than just 3 things. But what I want everybody to understand starting out is this really is, I've made it simple. It may not seem simple, but you need to understand that I have a knack for taking the most complicated, even financial transactions and simplifying it in a way that almost anybody, in fact, anybody can understand. And it's just something, it's a gift I think that God's given me. I've been able to explain things to people in such a way they explain it. And if they stay on to the very, very end, they will definitely see the kind of money that can be made in commercial and multifamily property, and the cash flow and the freedom that it will provide for them, and some special bonuses. If you stay on to the very end, you're going to see some bonuses that I'm going to throw in that nobody would ever consider doing, and you wouldn't have imagined that I would be able to include these for you so you could learn how to do this.
That's amazing. One of the things I love that you told me you were going to talk about is teaching people how to really do this business with other people's money. And another one I love more than anything is you're going to be, explaining how you do deals and get paid at closing to really do the deal. Like you walk out of closing with a check in hand. I think that's fabulous. It's just fabulous, man. So, all right. Well, listen, I know you guys are excited to hear what Andrew has to say. I'm just blessed that we have him on here today for you guys. And so pay attention, get a clean sheet of paper out, write on the top of that paper, the future is now. Right on the top of that paper, the future is now. Do that for me right now. And listen, make sure you close out your distractions. No distractions. If you have to shut the door, do that. If you're on a landline, then turn your cell phone off. If you're on your cell phone, try not to fidget with Facebook and all that stuff, because, there's a difference in being in participation and active participation. And active participation means that you're focused on the message, you're focused on what you can gain from it. And I want you to be part of that. So with that said, Andrew, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Zach. And again, thank you so much for having me on today. And I appreciate everybody who's jumped on. I mean, look at this. There's people from all over the country listening to this, and that's a testament to you and what you do and the message that you send out, Zach. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And what I really want everybody to know, and I mentioned it earlier, is not only what I've done simple, but I'm going to teach you the simple truth about real estate investing that the gurus aren't telling you. No offense, Zach, but I want to show you how it really is simple to just make it rain with lots of cash flow coming in, so you have that true independence.
Because I'm no guru, I'm a coach.
I know you're not, and I know you've explained that to people too. So those who know you love you and know you're not a guru, you're a coach, you're a life coach, and we appreciate you for that. Thank you. So I'm going to give you some simple truths, and the big one is that investing in commercial real estate is more profitable than residential homes, residential real estate. Commercial light, I like to call it, is multifamily, small commercial. Everybody tends to think of commercial as some huge building or transaction that is way out of reach, that it's only for the elite. Well, I'm going to show you how that you can get into the game very, very simply. And a lot of it is taking what you know from the single family investment strategies you've already been learning. And I want you're going to be able to apply what you already know so that you can work smarter, not harder. Commercial real estate involves the same amount of effort as it does in single family most of the time. And I'm going to show you how that is absolutely true. Okay. And if you're a single family investor, tell me if this doesn't sound familiar, right? You can't find good deals. There's so much competition out there that whenever you do find a good one, it's gone before you ever get a chance to make an offer. And when you do finally find that great deal, it's gone. It's just gone. You can't move fast enough because the competition for single family homes is so strong. When you do get one and you get all the way through, the profits, if any, are tiny. They're just not what you expected. And so you feel like all of that work you just put in, you just didn't get much of a return, if a return at all. And when you're finished with that, you're starting all over again, just trying to find good deals, just beating your head going, how am I supposed to do enough of these deals that I can, create some financial independence for myself, if just some income at all? So it's kind of like working a second job. You're on the treadmill trying to get ahead, and you're really not going anywhere. Does that sound familiar? I bet for a lot of folks it does. I want to expose some simple truths for you today about commercial real estate. Multifamily investing is simple to learn, and I've made it simple. And multifamily takes the same effort as single family residence. I'm going to show you how that's true. Multifamily has less competition than the single family world. And multifamily has less risk than single family investing. I'm going to show you how that's real too. Multifamily attracts OPM, which is other people's money. I'm going to show you how investing in commercial real estate and multifamily, you're going to be a money magnet. People are going to be throwing money at you, wanting to do deals with you. And multifamily can pay you at the closing. Zach mentioned that. I'm going to show you how you can get a check at a closing, and you can walk away with cash in your hand. Multifamily investments can produce huge profits. I call this the trifecta, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that, but you're really going to love this. And lastly, multifamily real estate is where you should start. I did. I'm going to show you my very first deal, and it was an 8-unit apartment complex. I started my real estate investing career on purpose with multifamily, and I'm going to show you how that happened. So, introducing myself, I'm Andrew Williams, and I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I also have a name. They call me Professor Cashflow because I have created some systems that generate cash flow for people far and above anything you could have ever imagined. And again, if you're a single family investor and you've gotten frustrated with some of your efforts in single family, I'm going to blow the doors off what you ever imagined income and cash flow would look like by having you check out the multifamily commercial light type of investment strategies and systems I'm going to show you. So one of the key components to the wealth and income that multifamily can create is something I call the multiplier effect. And I'm going to show you over and over and over again what I mean by that in my presentation today. So you want to stay tuned. And I'm going to show you how the multiplier effect can do things like create huge checks like this. So this is almost $48,000. And I'm going to show you a little later on how we created that kind of income at a closing with none of our own money. We didn't need a dime. And this was, of all things, a wholesale transaction. Yes, in commercial real estate, we can do wholesale deals too. None of my own money, almost a $48,000 check. We're going to show you how that happens. So here's a picture of me in my cash flow lab. These are a couple of my partners that I work with, and we were having fun one day. I took a picture. But what I want you to understand, and Zach touched on it a little bit, is I've got a lot of experience in real estate in general. I've done from single family homes to commercial real estate, office buildings, hotels, multifamily apartment complexes. I've done over 70 apartment complex acquisition and transitions. I've raised over $750 million. Zach likes to say $750 million. It sounds nice. But I've fixed and flipped from single family homes to also apartment and office buildings, owned a hotel. I was featured on a cover of a real estate periodical, and I used to host a daily radio show here in the Phoenix market that was dedicated to the education of my listeners. And through that opportunity, I got to interview some celebrities. And here's one with Richard Kiel, who played Jaws on the James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me. And I interviewed him on my radio show one day. It was a lot of fun. He sent me an autographed photo, and I really appreciate that. I don't get to show it very often, but there it is. Just to let you know, before I got to that level of experience and success, I did come from some humble beginnings, and I owe my success really to my mom and dad. They were very entrepreneurial, and my mom was a nurse who became a real estate agent. My dad was a handyman and a contractor, and eventually got into some other things, but the two of them together were a fantastic team. And my mom would find a house and come home and say, honey, I think we should buy this home. It's a good deal. You can fix it up, and put a renter in it and rent it. And I watched my mom and dad do this numerous times. I like to say I grew up in the back of a pickup truck, because every weekend my brother and I'd get loaded up in the truck, and we'd have to go off to one of these houses, help my mom and dad clean it up, fix it up, do whatever they needed to do so that they could rent it and make money. And we grew up in a little town in the East Bay of the San Francisco. And if anybody knows this part of California, it's just really, really blown up in the last 20 years with the Silicon Valley, and values are just through the roof there. And my mom and dad had a lot of rental properties and sold them all one day. And to my dad's demise, I remember hearing him say that he wished he had kept every house he had ever owned. And when you consider where he owned houses, you can imagine why he believes that. But this was the spark for me, growing up, watching my folks. And I thought, I didn't really realize what I was learning at the time, but I was learning that they really created a life for themselves by doing this. Ultimately, they sold all of the rental properties they owned one day, and we moved to Northern California. I didn't really understand it, but my dad bought his dream. He sold all of the real estate, took all that money, and went and bought his own Ford dealership. He became a Ford dealer in a little bitty town in Northern California, and that was his dream. My mom became a broker and had a real estate brokerage, and both of them were just very, very excited about that opportunity. Unfortunately, 1980 hit, and that was one of our first big depressions. Interest rates went to 16, 18%, and so it greatly impacted both the automobile and the real estate business. Gasoline hit $1 a gallon for the first time, and our economy was just in a tailspin. So unfortunately, that happened, and my folks looked at my brother and I and said, you guys aren't going to turn out like us. We want you to go to college, get a degree, get a good job. How, I did what they told me to do, but how wrong was that? I mean, look at what I learned from them, and look at what I've become despite my college education. But that was my spark. My folks instilled that work ethic in me, and that you could really get ahead in life if you followed your dreams. And I watched what real estate did. So when I got out of college and I got a degree in business and in finance, I had a hard time finding a job I really liked. But one of the jobs I did have was working for a bank. And I was doing some consumer loans approvals, and people were buying boats and RVs. We call them toys. And it required a level of income, because these were discretionary items, meaning if you owned a boat in Wisconsin, it was a pleasure craft, it was sitting on a trailer, and it had a foot of snow on top of it, and you were financially challenged and having troubles making the payments some month, guess what isn't going to get a payment that month? The boat that you aren't using. So you can see why banks really want to make sure that people have great income from a good source, lots of cash reserves, and those types of things. So here comes a loan request across my desk for a Prevost motorhome. That's that back in the day. That was a $400,000 motorhome. And this was the biggest consumer loan I had ever seen. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be difficult to approve. But once I started going through their application and their tax returns, I literally was able to approve that loan in about 5 minutes. They had something in their tax returns called a Schedule E. And the Schedule E has rental properties on it, up to 3 properties per page of rental properties. They had 20 pages of Schedule E's in their tax returns. That meant over 60 rental properties they owned, and the cash flow was coming in every single month. It was over $100,000 a month of income. And so it didn't matter where they were in this motorhome. They could be in North America, South America, East Coast, West Coast, traveling around and just enjoying themselves. The cash flow kept coming in no matter where they were. They were set. And of course, with professional property management, they didn't have to deal with any of the tenants' toilets or turnover. So that was a very, very easy loan for me to approve. And for those of you, I'm going to show you a Schedule E looks like this. This is a sample, but you'll see Schedule E looks like this on your tax return. And if you're like me, you're going to want a lot of these in your tax returns someday. So this was a goal for me. This was my spark that my parents instilled in me, became a flame in me when I saw this. And I said, you know what? I want to have rental properties. I want to buy 1 rental property a year for 20 years, and I'll have 20 rental properties. I don't know why I limited myself, but at that time I wasn't fully aware of limiting thoughts and not allowing yourself the ability to really dream big. I thought I was being conservative, but you know what? 20 homes isn't a bad dream either. They had 60. Obviously, I knew it was a possibility. I just don't know why I limited myself to 20. But anyway, a Schedule E, in this example, drop your income down. In this little example, here's $159,000 of income annually from this Schedule E. So you can imagine having a bunch of Schedule E's in your tax return is a pretty cool goal to have. But anyway, my dream is like a lot of dreams. It didn't happen. I wanted to buy 1 property a year for 20 years. I started telling everybody what my dream was, and everybody started telling me I was crazy. There was no way I could do that. I wasn't like those other people. What was I thinking? You know, keep your head down, do your job. And I don't know if I listened or not, but this is what happens when you surround yourself with negative people. It happened. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So what happened working for this bank a couple years later, I had an opportunity to meet the Bobs, and they were coming to me. It was Rob and Robert, and they were a father-son team, and I call them the Bobs. And they came to me for, now I was doing mortgages for the bank, and they were coming to me for loans. They were buying fourplexes. And they had a lot of Schedule E's, and they were buying more fourplexes. Almost every month they were coming in to buy another fourplex. And the Bobs would find them and buy them, and their wives did all the property management, accounting, and paperwork, handled all the tenants and lease issues. So they really had a system dialed in, and they were buying fourplexes. If you don't know what a fourplex is, it's simply 4 living units under one roof. They look different, but they all have one very common theme. It's 4 units under one roof. It's a fourplex. And the Bobs said we only buy fourplexes. And that's fine. This created an inferno for me. It reinvigorated me and said, I had a dream. I didn't follow it. And I want to explain a little bit to you. A fourplex is considered multifamily, but it's a little bit unique in the fact that it's also still considered residential for residential loan purposes. The Bobs were buying fourplexes, and because you could get traditional financing, you could go into Wells Fargo, Bank of America, your local credit union or bank, and get a regular mortgage secured with Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or FHA or VA. You could get a loan. And when you can get traditional financing on real estate, it's great because there's lower interest rates, lower down payments if you're FHA or VA on a primary residence. The income from those other units is counted as your income and helps you qualify to buy that property, and no prior experience required. The Bobs were buying a lot of fourplexes, but I can tell you, if this is the route you want to go, it's okay, but you are still dealing with residential loan underwriters and their mentality. Remember, the banks got stung 10 years ago, and they're still not being very generous with their money. They're looking for more ways to turn your loan application down than they are looking for ways to approve you. Your personal credit score is used. Your personal income is used, and you have to borrow in your individual name. So that makes you personally liable, and you can only get 4 loans max. So at the end of the day, you're only getting 4 loans. Now, when the Bobs were buying these, that was back before the crash, and you could get as many of these loans as you wanted. Now, 4 loans like this max, over and above that, the banks start treating you as a big time investor, and they require you to go with commercial loans, and they won't give you residential. So I'll get into more of that a little later. But I was working with the Bobs, and I said, hey guys, I see what you're doing. I told them about my dream. I wanted to buy 20 homes in 20 years. I told them about my parents, and I asked them to mentor me. This time, because of them, I was not going to fail. I was going to follow my dream no matter what. And I knew that I needed to get help. I needed to surround myself with positive people who would encourage me to succeed. And I watched the Bobs do what they did, and I just knew these were the guys that I needed to have show me how to do this. So I asked them if they would mentor me, and they said, sorry, no. And I shook my head, and I did what any normal man would do, and I got on my knees and I begged. I asked the Bobs, please help me. And they said, actually, they didn't think, they tried to help people before, and it just didn't work out because they said they weren't willing to work hard enough. And I said, I'm willing to work, Bobs, please teach me. And they said, no, it's actually harder than we make it look. We've been doing this so long. We got it so dialed in, it looks easy. And once you get started, you're just going to give up and quit. And I said, please teach me. And they said, no, that's not going to work out for us. And I had saved up some money as a down payment on a house that I was going to buy for me and my family. And unbeknownst to my wife, I went to the Bobs with this money, and I said, please teach me, I'll pay you. Well, at that point, they looked at each other. They knew I was serious. They knew I had skin in the game. And they said, okay, we're going to show you how to do this. And I said, fantastic. So the very next day, I asked a couple of real estate agents that I knew if they could give me a list of some investment properties, cash flowing properties, multifamily for sale. And they did. And oddly enough, in one of the properties was an 8-unit apartment complex. And I went to the Bobs. I said, what do you think about this? They said, interesting. They said, that price of that 8-plex is about what we pay for 4-plexes a lot of times. And I said, wow, great. What do you think of the numbers? And they said, they look okay. I said, do you want to partner with me? And they said, no, we only do 4-plexes. But they pointed me in the right direction. Anyway, I bought this 8-unit apartment complex. It needed renovation. It had some vacancies. It needed to be fixed up, and that's okay. That was opportunity. I turned it into this, and when I got ready to refinance it, because I got a hard money loan on there, it was time to refinance it, because that's the thing about hard money loans, they're short term. I went to the Bobs and I said, hey, I'm ready to refinance this. And they said something to me, and I don't know if you saw this, it was an absolute game changer. I want to show you again. It changed everything. And I don't know if they even realized what they said. I bet they did. But I took all of the education that I had, all of the experience. I saw what my parents did, all the tax returns that I had seen over my short banking career. It all came to the forefront. And I realized what they told me when I said, I need to refinance this. They said, go to the bank and ask for the maximum amount of money. I wasn't quite sure what they were talking about, but I did. And what happened is the bank said yes, and the light bulb went off. And it was like Doc Brown in Back to the Future. He fell off the toilet and hit his head. And when he came to, it was the amazing flux capacitor. Remember, it was his ability to do time travel. Guys, this is what happened to me working with the Bobs when they told me about taking this property that I had bought, used hard money, fixed it up, refinanced it. I was able to pull cash out to pay off the hard money loan, to pay back the partner that lent me the money to get started in this, and put about 30 grand in my pocket when it was all said and done.
You bought this thing, you refinanced it, you paid off all the initial debt you had borrowed. So you had no money in the deal, but you were even able to pull money out of it and it's still cash flowed.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. See the light bulb? See my flux capacitor there? I mean, I bought this property and 8 months later, I refinanced it, paid off my partner. I thought I was going to have a 50-50 partner in this apartment that I owned. And within 8 months, I had the bank paid off, the partner paid off. I now owned it 100% myself and put 30 grand in my pocket. And yeah, the best part is it had $2,000 a month in positive cash flow. So what's your return on that, Zach? Infinite, right?
Very much.
Yeah. So you fast forward to today, and Zach touched on this, but I've acquired over 70 apartment complexes representing over 7,000 units. I participated in over 20,000 real estate transactions and raised over $750 million from private investors. I've managed and renovated thousands of units. I've fixed and flipped multifamily and residential homes. I've owned office buildings and a hotel. That's an interesting story. And the vast majority of my deals, I use zero of my personal money. I hosted a daily radio show. I was a guest speaker at dozens of trade shows and educational seminars all across the country. I started over a dozen businesses, and before it all began, I've had dozens of jobs, jobs, and I understand your struggle. I can relate to almost anybody. So I just created this system, and I just knew that multifamily and commercial real estate was the key to huge success and profits. And I was going along doing this just fine, showing other people how to do it. And I was working with Sal from Texas one day. We were doing some single family coaching. I was showing him how to buy and sell single family homes and invest in them. And Sal kept talking to me about these little apartment complexes in this town in Texas he was from. And he just had the bug for this. And of course, I had a lot of experience in that, but I was listening to what he said. And I said, Sal, why are you learning single family? He goes, I just think those multifamilies might be a better deal, but I just, that's multifamily, that's commercial. I can't do that. I said, yes, you can. So we switched gears. I started teaching him how to do the multifamily stuff. And because of the multiplier effect, this is where I'm showing you this check earlier on. We took a 24-unit apartment complex. And I told Sal, I said, listen, how would you like me to show you how to get a property under contract, mark it up $1,000, $2,000, and make 30, 40 grand? And he shook his head. He's like, what are you saying? Tell me that again. I said, yeah, buy a property or get it under contract, control it, mark it up $1,000 and make 30 or 40. He said, what are you talking about? I said, exactly, Sal, what you keep talking about. In multifamily, we can get it under contract, mark it up $1,000 a door, sell it, wholesale it to another investor, and make 30 grand. In this particular instance, he went right home and did this deal. And it was a 24-unit complex. He got it under contract, marked it up $2,000 a door, and wholesaled it. Didn't even touch it. Didn't buy it, didn't close on it, didn't renovate it, wholesaled it to another investor, made almost $48,000. This check is from a wholesale transaction. So for those of you who are doing single family homes, when's the last time you saw a $48,000 check on a wholesale deal? So even though this is a cash flow strategy system that I'm showing you, I do want you to know that what you've been learning in single family, we can apply some of that to multifamily and you can still get huge checks. And I just want you to put a smile on your face and know that you don't have to start over. You're not learning something necessarily brand new. I'm just going to show you different ways to apply it so that your profits can be huge, off the charts. And I think Zach was saying, how would you like to do just 3 of these deals a year? Just 3 deals like this a year. Look at your income. You're almost talking $120,000, $150,000. That's a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. That is a game changer. And that's why I'm here. And I realized if I can show Sal how to do this, I can show other people how to do this. And so I've been doing this for a couple of years now, showing people how to make huge profits and returns in multifamily and commercial investing. And I put a system together and show you the cash flow, because it's really financial freedom that I want people to understand and to go after. And along the way, you do a wholesale deal or two like this and just put a chunk of cash in your pocket. That's life-changing, and it's truly a game changer. So here we are. I want to show you, because if you're out there trying to find single-family homes like this to invest in, the effort that you're putting in to find properties like this, it's the same amount of effort to find properties like that, like the multifamily. Same amount of effort. You're still marketing to sellers. You're looking for motivated sellers. You're looking for properties for sale. You're looking for stuff that's delinquent in taxes or code violations or pre-foreclosure. You'd wonder why any property like a multifamily would ever be in foreclosure, but it happens, and we find them and we make offers on them. So the same amount of work to find multifamily as it does for single family, bigger profits, the multiplier effect. It's a game changer, folks. We're going to show you how this works. If you just stay tuned to the end. But I'm going to start right now with my wholesale formula. I just showed you how that worked. But I'm going to give you a little more detail. I'm working with Kevin and Deanna. They're also out of Texas. They're in South Texas. And I was working with them on some little multifamily deals. And they came to me with a property that Deanna found using my seller direct formula to find off-market property owners who are motivated. And they found this little property. And I'll show you a picture of it here. This little 5-unit, looks like a little house, is converted into a 5-unit apartment complex. Okay, they had it under contract for $129,000. There were 2 2-bedroom units and 3 1-bedroom units. The income was almost $2,000 a month, and the cap rate on this, which is the rate of return. I don't want you to worry about what a cap rate is, but you'll hear that term a lot in commercial and multifamily, and I'm gonna tell you what that is. But I just want you to know that that percentage represents a return on your investment. Very simple. So, sound pretty good so far? Most people would say, sure, good income, good price. Look at that price. But in their due diligence, they discovered that the property was in a floodplain. Some of you may know what that is, some of you don't, but just from an acquisition standpoint, the property is located in an area that may flood once every 100 years, whatever. It's called a floodplain. Insurance wasn't really too excited about covering the property, and the banks were a little concerned because the property was converted from a church to this 5-unit property. So they, just some hemming and hawing going around. It wasn't a big deal. And so I was talking with Deanna and Kevin about the property, and they said, well, now what? What do we do now, Andrew? And they were saying, should we just cancel the deal? Walk away from it? I said, well, we did some more due diligence, and we found out 4plexes in the area were selling for $150,000. So they had a 5-unit under contract for $129,000. 4plexes were selling for $150,000. If you divide that up, 4plexes were selling for $37,500 per door. So you give that value to the 5plex, and I said, let's just wholesale it. If you don't want to own it, let's just sell it to another investor. We'll wholesale it for $150,000. It's basically for these other investors like buying a 4plex with an extra unit, a free unit. So at $30,000 a door, that was a big discount for investors. They were lined up to buy this deal. And Kevin and Deanna made $21,000 net super fast on a property they were ready to walk away from. What did the investor they sell it to get? They paid $150,000 for a 5-unit property. They were getting almost $2,000 a month in income, and the cap rate, or the return on their investment, was still double digits. That's all you need to understand. Double digits was good return. Everybody won in this deal, and instead of walking away, they made money and learned a lot in the process and was able to turn around and invest some more. So I just want to show you that there's a lot we can do with these properties. You don't have to walk away from them. So how simple was that? Do you like that? If you're paying attention, that's something that should have grabbed your attention for sure. And if you'd like to learn how to do that, what I want you to do is say, teach me Professor Cashflow. Type in the comment sections below. I want to see everybody just type in, hey, teach me Professor Cashflow.
Teach me Professor Cashflow.
Yeah, let's see if you're paying attention out there.
I love it. Teach me, Professor Cashflow. You know what I like about this deal, Andrew, is the fact that where the novice person would have walked, but since you were there guiding them and showing them the simplicity of the different ways that it could go, they were, this is the type of deal that you can still stay in and just make money because, there's a lot of confusion out there. And I think you're simplifying that a lot of people think, well, if they don't have money or they don't have a relationship with a bank, they can't go after commercial deals or multifamily. And that's just not true because, one of the strategies you're showing right now is they could treat it just like any other single family and they could bring it to a company like yours that's willing to acquire these deals off of students. And I think that that's something that, they need to be aware of.
Right. And by the way, I'm seeing comments coming in that people are saying, teach me, teach me. So that's excited. You're still awake, right? You're paying attention out there. And yeah, even though this is a cash flow strategy system that I'm showing folks, I don't want you walking away from cash if it comes to you, right? Don't walk away from it. Let's still do the deal. Let's find a way to make some money from it. It's not necessarily the cash flow strategy, but I had to throw this example in there and show folks not to walk away from this opportunity. So we've got comments coming in. People are still paying attention. That's great. And the next one I want to show you is this instant equity formula. I showed you or told you about the 8-unit apartment complex that I bought, and I want to show you a little more detail on how that transaction works. So I paid $237,500 for this little 8-unit complex. And you can see how the prices on some of these can be really, really low compared to even some single family homes. You're like, how can that be? But they're out there. 4 of the units were vacant and they were renting at below market rents. I want to let you know what that means, folks. That means opportunity. It's like walking in a single family home that kind of is grungy and has a bad smell. A lot of people turn around and run away. Well, those are retail buyers. As investors, we smell money when we see that, right? Well, same kind of thing with multifamily. So I bought this little property, fixed it up. I can show you where it's located. See in the kind of near the upper left-hand side of the screen there, it was this Avalon property, and I've got a vacant lot next to it and a boatyard next to it and the Elks Lodge across the street. And see the main street down there? See the Filiberto's Mexican food? Well, I hung a little sign at the back of the complex there, and I loved it. Whenever I had a vacancy, I would get a phone call on my phone from a number I didn't recognize, but it didn't matter. I'd answer it. And I always heard this, and I knew exactly where the call was coming from. Somebody would say, hello, I'm calling about your unit for rent. I didn't even have to ask what unit they were talking about because I always heard in the background, welcome to Filiberto's, can I take your order? So I always knew that my little sign that I hung out the back of that property, and it was the demographic of the people I was renting to was perfect, and they were coming through the drive-through. And I had just the traffic count for that little property was fantastic. So even though you can see it's this little oasis surrounded by a boatyard and a vacant lot, it was occupied all the time. I never had a vacancy more than a couple of weeks. So I would take that little property, I fixed it up and made it cute. Amazing what a little landscaping and some paint will do. Real simple renovation on the inside, just simple, clean, nice. And when it came time to refinance it, like the Bobs explained to me, it appraised for $475,000. I pulled the $35,000 cash out and paid off my partner and the bank, and it produced $2,000 a month of positive cash flow. It's the instant equity that I knew this property had. I paid $237,500 for it, and look, in 8 months, it appraised for $475,000. A little bit of paint, a little bit of landscaping, fixed it up a little bit, and get those vacant units rented. The potential that this property had, I didn't quite know it at the time, but like I said, the light bulb went off at the end of this, and instead of my goal from 20 units over 20 years, as you can tell, I blew through that so fast. With all the deals I've done because of that concept and that idea of buying properties with instant equity. It's very hard to do in single family properties, but in commercial and multifamily, if you know what you're looking for, not only is it there and is it prevalent, it's everywhere. the dollars are much, much bigger than they are in single family. So if you're looking at this and you're a little frustrated and you can't find deals single family, just hang in there, change your focus a little bit, and look for multi-unit properties. They're there. Now let's get into some passive cash flow. This is a very unique story. I should say not unique. This is one of my favorite stories, and it's not unique. But I was working with a woman who was driving a truck, and I'll show you about her. But the passive cash flow is really where you want to go, because it's the ticket to the lifestyle that you really want to live. This is like my people in that Prevost motorhome traveling around the country. With passive cash flow, it truly gives you the ability to be anywhere, anytime, enjoying life, and knowing that the cash flow is always coming in. You literally can spend time with those you love, or spend time doing the things you love to do. And I'm going to show you how passive cash flow is truly the goal. It doesn't have to be a number of properties over a period of time. It's about how much cash does it take for you to be able to live comfortably, to quit your job and to have this income coming in on a regular basis so that you can live the life that you want to live. Okay, so Einstein said that everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. I'm still trying to figure that. Why couldn't he just stop at the everything be made as simple as possible? But that's Einstein for you. I've actually done that. I've made things very, very simple. And here's Anna. And her story, she was a truck driver. And she was driving truck cross country with her husband at the time. And she was miserable, hated the job. And I think she hated her relationship, because she told me the story one day. They were stuck in traffic. They were downtown somewhere, trying to deliver this load. They were late. He was being mean. She was frustrated. She grabbed her purse, opened the door, got out, and said, "I'm leaving." She closed the door and started walking. She said she's never seen him or that truck ever again. She just had enough. And what she did was she went to the trucking company. They gave her her own truck, and she drove by herself. And over 12 years, she told me, "Andrew, I've seen this country from coast to coast, but I've seen it from the cab of my truck. I want to buy a motor home. I want to drive as slow as I want, stay anywhere as long as I want. I truly want to see this country on my terms, and I want you to show me how to do that." And I said, "Absolutely, Anna." So she did some work, and she came up with this deal, and you're going to love this. She found a couple of small apartment complexes in Tucson that were owned by the same owner, the same seller. They were off-market deals. She had sent out some letters. She did some seller direct marketing that I showed her how to do. And she found these two properties. It was Hardy Drive at 20 units, Costas Drive at 17 units, total of 37 units. She didn't really want to manage them. She didn't see a lot of opportunity. They were already 100% occupied. As you can see, they're pretty clean and pretty nice. But she felt she was able to get them under contract at a good price, and she did. At 35 grand a door, the market right now is 45 to 50 grand a door. So she had a really good price on these properties. And she said, "I just want to wholesale them. I just want to mark them up a little bit, make some money, and go do and go travel like I want to do." And I said, "Anna, that's fantastic. You got a great opportunity here, but I'm sorry, $100,000 is just not enough money to help you live that dream, because as soon as that money's gone, you got to start over." She says, "Okay, well, what do you suggest?" I said, "Let's not do this as a wholesale deal. Let's do something a little different." She says, "I'm all ears." So what I showed her how to do was, and I love deals. You're going to come across deals like this when you're looking for them. And now that I'm showing you what to look for, I know you're going to find deals like this. So check this out, okay? Instead of a quick wholesale deal and make $100,000, I said, let's sell Hardy Drive. It's that 20-unit complex. Let's sell Hardy Drive and keep Costas Drive. Well, she says, "Well, how do we do that?" I said, "Just like you were going to do. You were going to wholesale both of them. Let's spend a little extra time. Let's market Hardy Drive at $40,000 a door, it's still $5,000 to $10,000 below market. So an investor should want to snag this up pretty fast. And she agreed. And fortunately for her, we found an investor to buy this property in less than 30 days. That's $5,000 a door profit. Because it's 20-unit complex, there's $100,000 just wholesaling Hardy Drive. Now we're going to take that $100,000 and purchase Costas Drive with it. So this was a 17-unit property under contract. It had great occupancy. It had great cash flow, but below market rents. Again, we like below market rents. Now, one of the reasons why it's probably 100% occupied is because it's below market rents, but we can increase the rents slightly, and it's a game changer when we do this. I'm going to show you how this happens. But the purchase price was $595,000. Remember, we just sold Hardy. We just sold Hardy and made $100,000. So we've got money for a down payment now. We got a hard money loan on this at 90%. So 10% down was $59,500. That still leaves us $40,500 left over from the sale of Hardy. Do you like how this is going so far? Do you like this? Type below real quick if you like where you think this is going, okay? So far, there we go. So far, none of our own money. We wholesaled the deal, took that $100,000. We got this one under contract. We still have money left over. Now watch what it becomes, okay? The rents were $445 a month. That cash flow was about $90,000 a year. The expenses were about 39%, which leaves $55,000 a year in net operating income. Not huge, but it's still income that's going to be there every month without having to work a job. The cap rate was about 9.3%. Again, that's your return on the money there. And here's why we're doing this deal. That last slide was just kind of to show you what the situation was. I'm going to show you what it's going to be. We're going to buy that property with the proceeds from the Hardy wholesale deal. We're going to get credits. Remember I told you get paid at closing? We got the seller to give her credits of $17,800 at the closing. So her cash reserves went from $40,500, add $17,000 to it. She now has $58,000 in the bank. Over the next 6 months, we raised the rents to market of $495. We didn't raise rents very much, very, very little. It's still at 100% occupancy. We refinanced it to a market rate loan with paid off that hard money lender and went with a long-term low interest rate loan. The gross scheduled income, the income that this property generates before expenses was $100,000 a year. The net operating income, or the income after expenses, was $60,000 a year. Cap rate 9%. That's what the bank used as a rate to value the property, and they came in with a value of $667,000. She now had equity of $130,000 in the property. The new loan payment was only $2,750 a month, and her net cash flow is $2,500 a month. So let me summarize this for you. She has cash reserves in the bank, $58,000 now. Cash flow of $30,000 a year. Cash flow, that's after all expenses management, and that's even before we start to look at and trying to reduce what some of the expenses were. But there's $30,000. She has equity of $130,000. So see, $58,000 now in her bank account, $30,000 a year of income, and $130,000 of equity, which she can tap into or have later on at any time. You get money now, money monthly, and money later. And that's what I call the trifecta, okay? That's an instant equity formula. She found properties with equity, and look what we turned it into. And folks, this was with none of her own money. It started out by wholesaling Hardy Drive and taking the rest of the money and buying Costas Drive. Fantastic opportunity for her, and she's since done a couple more. Her annual income now is $100,000 a year. She's got $200,000 in the bank. She's got almost $500,000 in equity in these properties, and she's now traveling the country the way she wanted to. I couldn't be more proud of Anna. And so if you would like to see how Anna did this deal, I want you to type below, just say trifecta. So just say trifecta, type it in below. Let me see that you like that term. And I'm going to show you. See it?
Trifecta, trifecta.
There it is. Got some exclamation points on it. I like it. And I know some of you out there are saying, but Professor Cashflow, I don't want to manage tenants, toilets, and turnover. I don't blame you. You think Anna is managing tenants, toilets, and turnover? Heck no. She's traveling the country. She's excited. We have in commercial property and in multifamily, can you say power team? Zach, can you say power team?
I can say power team. Get me here, power team. Can't build it without a power team.
Got to have a power team. And one thing about multifamily and commercial is you have a power team in your professional property management. Professional property management's the solution. Your professional property manager does all the research and market comparisons for you. They prepare all the lease and rental agreements, do all the documentation, all the background checks of the tenants. They'll take photographs of the property for you, send you detailed reports every single month, make all your deposits for you, handle anything that's broken or needs fixed, maintain a reserve account so that if anything breaks, there's money there to fix it, renew leases and market vacant tenants for you for new market units for you for new tenants, and keep that property full for you. They know contractors, they know law firms, they know advertising, they know websites. You don't have to do any of that. They can do it all for you. So it's a lot different than the single family game. This multifamily thing, everybody's a professional across the board, and it makes life so much easier. This whole thing is about passive cash flow. How about a passive lifestyle? And the money just keep coming in. Do I have your permission to tease you just a little bit? Good. Good. I want to tease you just a little bit. This isn't really part of a passive cash flow strategy, but I think you're going to like it, okay? So here's a little, what's that?
I said tease them.
Yeah. Here's a little property called Greystone Condominiums in Phoenix. And when I say little, it's Greystone Condominiums now, but when I bought it, it was Greystone Apartments. It's only 12 units. 2-bed, 2-bath, 900 square feet. Bought it at $35,000 a door with none of my own money, by the way. When I tell you that multifamily and commercial properties attracts other people's money, this deal that I'm going to show you was none of my own money. It was all investor, private money lenders. We did this deal together. This little property was generating $800 a month in rent per door, or $115,000 in annual income. Nice little property to buy it as an apartment complex. This was a fantastic deal as apartments. However, it was a much better deal for me to convert it to condominiums. So I took this little complex and I renovated the property, $14,000 a door. The renovation was part of that, converting it to condominiums, some of the cost in that, some of the other things I had to do to create a condominium complex was part of that $14,000 a door cost. About $9,000 per door in finance costs, because it took us a little longer to get through the project. $9,000 a door in sales costs, because we threw some incentives out there for buyers to buy. We paid some of their closing costs. We did some things like that so that we make our little property here really attractive to buyers. So our total cost was $67,000 per door. Not a big deal. Simple math, folks. I sold the units at $118,000 each. Minus my cost of $67,000 per door left me a $51,000 per door profit. 12 units, $612,000 in profit on this 12-unit apartment complex we converted to condos. So Greystone Apartments, $115,000 of gross income. That's $69,000 a year of net income before any kind of mortgage payment. see why this deal worked as apartments, but isn't anywhere near as attractive as Greystone condominiums, making $612,000 of net profit. Hey, who wants to learn how to do that? I mean, to make over $600,000 in just one deal, that is the true definition of changing one's life and creating a lifestyle that is meaningful, allow you to do the things you want to do. And I can tell you, the real question going on right now is, when do you want to learn how to do this? It's taken me 15 years to develop my formulas, and I can show you that if you want to move forward, and you can either take 15 years or follow the formulas that I've created, and we'll put you on the fast lane. You can learn this right away. Education is very, very important. And how would you like to learn while you earn? Have you ever heard that? We can show you how to get deals going really, really fast, making money right away. And for those of you who know that this is something you want to do, because I've got bonuses. I told you to stay to the very, very end, and we're not there yet. But I think by the time we get to the end, those bonuses may already be gone. So you better get in and go. So if you know this is something you want to do, go right now, get in and get yours, and go to the www.callwithzach.com/PCFF, or get on the phone. Continue watching the training here, and get on the phone and call 707-247-4248. So if you know this is something you want, and you want to go ahead and ensure that you're going to get the bonuses I've got for you, because there's only 20 that I'm giving out, and they're going to be gone by the end. So go ahead and jump on the website there or the phone and get yours ordered. But here's what my training consists of. My passive cash flow formula. I mean, this is really, it's time to make money in real estate. You've been thinking about it or looking at it or even tried it on the single family side. This is where the real money is, and I can show you how to make that money right away with multifamily and with commercial property. So if you can follow a simple formula, then you can make huge profits and be successful with my passive cash flow formula system. Now, here's how you can get started now. My passive cash flow formula system, listen, the real world value is $59.97. Don't worry about that. I'm showing you what these were worth if you were going to go out and pay for them a la carte. But that's not the case. I'm packaging all this together for you with a huge discount, and you're really going to like this. So don't worry about those prices, but I just want you to know what the value is. But we've got a great opportunity for you today. In my passive cash flow formula system, you've got all the resource materials you need, all my lab notes, and a bunch of study guides so that you can follow step by step the formulas that I've been talking about, how to start putting deals together and making money right away. In the system, listen, you're going to get my commercial property cash flow 101. This is the basics. I've broken it down for you. I have simplified this like nobody has. The basics, the terms, the formulas, the cash flow basics, the difference between cash flow and income, and some exit strategies, and how to be successful in this business. That's all included in Cash Flow 101. Then we have the New Business Startup 102. Listen, folks, this is a business, and you want to do this. You want to treat it like a business, and I'm going to help you set up your business, create some budgets, understand how to move forward with education and marketing to keep your business moving for you and growing, all the documents and resources you're going to need, and how to put that very special power team together for your commercial property business. It's amazing the professional level that people are at in the commercial world, and your power team, they are already geared up to do so much of the work for you. It's amazing when you figure out how this works, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The Finding Cash Flow Properties 103, it's all about where to find the properties, right? Where to look, how to find motivated sellers, the marketing that it takes to attract those sellers, and the technology we use to find the deals that nobody else can find. We're going to show you how to get in and get these deals before the brokers get a hold of them, or for that matter, anybody else, how to find good deals. And that's another thing. The brokers can go out and find deals for you too, very different than the single family world. So the Cash Flow Properties 101, how to find them, excellent study guide that you're going to want to have, and I've included it in my package. The Acquisition and Due Diligence. listen, it's one thing to find them, then what do? How do you make that offer? How do you negotiate with those sellers? The negotiation part of this business is one of my favorites, and I'm going to break that down for you. Pull back the curtain, let you go behind the scenes and understand some of the psychology that goes into the negotiations on these deals, and then let you know why I love negotiating multifamily and commercial deals, because it gives me a lot of time to actually get a deal done. Unlike the competitiveness in the single family homes, the multifamily and commercial world, we sometimes get due diligence of 30, 60, and 90 days to put deals together, and to that much time just makes this so much almost easier, I guess, to simplify it from where we are with single family homes. What you're looking for when you're inspecting the properties, different kinds of exit strategies. Depending on what your inspection shows, we may change our initial exit strategy or not, and how to renegotiate before you close and try and sweeten the deal on your side and get a little better deal right at the end. So renegotiating at the end is a key, and you're going to want to really key in on that. You're going to love the fact that I've included that in this workbook. Now, funding the commercial property. Once you get a property under contract, right? You learned about it, then you found it, then you negotiated the deal. Now, how do you buy it? How do you close on it if that's your choice? How to fund a commercial property? I put together a funding package for you. Just drop in some pictures of the property and the terms associated with it. Put this all together, your profile, highlights of the property, and then your package is ready to submit to either a bank or a funding source or the private money investors that we're going to help you build your team of private money investors that will be on your team, and you can show them this high quality funding package that almost I never get a no. Everybody wants to fund the deals like this. And then, I don't know if you know this or not, I'm going to show you how to negotiate with the lenders. Just because they come back with loan terms doesn't mean you can't negotiate those terms and get something a little better for yourself. So understanding what the terms are and how to get better terms is something you're definitely going to want to know about. And then commercial property management. Obviously, the goal here is cash flow, and I want you to enjoy that cash flow. So if you're trying to manage this property yourself, I don't want you creating a job for yourself. So I'm going to show you how to manage the manager. Okay, we're going to help you select a good management company, how to set those expectations, understand what a reserve account is, so you've always got money set aside to take care of some expenses or repairs when they come up. How to make sure there's timely communication with your management company, and it all ties together again with how to manage the manager. So all of this is included in my passive cash flow formula system. And I've also included a bonus, how to fund cash flow properties with your IRA or 401k. But not just your IRA or 401k. It's important to know a lot about how this works, because with that knowledge, you can talk to other people who have 401k and IRAs. Let's just say you don't have a retirement account. That's okay. There's lots of people who do. There's trillions of dollars in retirement accounts out there. I'm going to show you how to access that money from other investors and get them to fund your deals for you. The tax advantages are huge when you fund deals using retirement accounts. And you can even leverage that retirement account for even better returns, bigger returns, and that just makes even more money available for other deals too. So that is a huge bonus, and doesn't even begin to touch on the bonuses that I'm going to include for you today. So again, stay tuned, because I've only got about 20 bonuses available. Now we're down, okay, some people have signed up, great. We're down to about 17 bonuses left. So if you are interested, and I've got a lot more, stay tuned. We're not done yet. But if you want to get in and make sure you get one of the bonuses that I've got set aside, go to callwithzach.com/PCFF or call the number 707-247-4248. Now stay tuned. I got some more bonuses. Here they come. But if you want to log in and start registering for this so that you're sure to get your bonuses, go ahead and do that. Now, these are the fast action bonuses that I'm going to include today for those of you who take action. And that's why there's only a limited number of these. This is very, very valuable. And I really commend people who take action now, because those are the people who are going to be successful in this. And good for you. My quick start guide. Listen, there's a lot of material that I'm putting out there, and a lot of training and the system that makes all this work for you. Where do you start? So I've put together a little video guide that's going to show you exactly where to start to get a fast, to get everything up and running very quickly and know right where to go to start finding deals and start negotiating, putting these deals together. That way you don't have to try to go from A to Z and figure it all out before you get out there and start. I want you to get started on this right away. So this quick start guide is going to help you figure out where to get started, those quick step items that you need to do right away so that you can start finding deals as quickly as possible. My legal and marketing library. This is worth over $2,000. Again, you're not going to pay anywhere near that kind of money for this, because I've packaged it all together for you. So don't worry about that. But it's going to include contracts, documents, scripts, so that you know what to say when you're talking to people. We can talk about those negotiations. Letters that you can send out on a marketing campaign, signage. You know, you drive down the street and see bandit signs everywhere. We've got different kinds of signs that you can put up, and signs to look for that'll give you clues that there might be some properties available, and checklists. When you're going through, because this is a business and you want to make sure that your business is set up right, there's a checklist for it. You want to make sure your marketing campaign is going the way it should, there's a checklist for you. You've got a property under contract and you're in your due diligence phase, there's a checklist for you to make sure you don't leave anything out. This legal and marketing library is an excellent resource, and I've included that as a bonus for you today for the first 20 people who sign up, and obviously we've already got some people signing up, so jump in and get yours. My deal evaluator cheat sheet. I love this sheet. This is a little one-page sheet. You enter information and it gives you green light, yellow light, or red light in 5 different sections, and it tells you if you're on the right track or not, or if this deal is going to be a deal or not. That's what you want to know. And if you get 5 green lights, this is a go deal. And we want to help you put that deal together. If there's some yellow lights or red lights, hey, we might need to take a step back, and it's telling us this isn't exactly the deal for us. This is so simple. This sheet is so simple. This evaluator cheat sheet is, you can't make it any simpler. Plug in some information and it tells you if it's a deal or not. How would you like to have that? I've included it as a bonus for you today. You need to get this. My personal success plan jumpstart call. Listen. How would you like to get this system, get the quick start guide, trying to figure out what you want to do, and then get on the phone with myself or one of my staff to identify exactly what it is you need to do first, where you should look, the things you need to implement right away, so that you're really, truly headed down that path of success as quickly as possible. This whole thing is about right now. If you spent your whole life not enjoying or making the kind of money that you wanted to make, why wait another minute or another day? Everything I've put together is simple and fast. I want you guys to be successful as quickly as possible. So this personal success plan, this jumpstart call, is we're going to take your exact situation and help you identify what you need to do so that you can be on the fastest possible track for the success, okay? Now, my done for you funding package. We've assembled this amazing package where you can put everything together and submit it, like I said, to a bank or a private individual for a loan. And this is how you get them to say yes every time, because it's professional and it really conveys that you know what you're doing. And so I've taken my 20 years of experience negotiating with banks, how to put deals together, and all the things I've learned that you want to include in a funding package and all the things you want to leave out of that funding package. This is what we've boiled it down to, is the simplest formula to get a yes from banks every time. So with this done for you funding package, it's almost plug and play. You put the information in there, it's going to spit out a really nice presentation that you can give to the banker or your funding sources. Now, my cash flow laboratory. Twice a month, I get on the phone and I talk to my students and my proteges, and we go over deals, and I find out what's working for you, what's not working for you. We share information with each other, and this is a fantastic opportunity for you to see what's going on in other markets and your market, share what's working for you or not, and let other people chime in as well as myself, so that on a live call twice a month, we're going over deals with each other and finding out what's working and not, and keeping it moving forward for you. This is a breath of fresh air. If you feel like you're stuck, you're bogged down, you're losing your mojo, this is a great call to get fired back up again and know that you can do this. So 60 days access to my cash flow lab, the virtual training calls twice a month. You're gonna love it. Very, very valuable to keep your concentration, your commitment, your motivation moving forward. Now, I really like this. I mean, training materials, they're great. But at the end of the day, wouldn't you love a live training class? So part of the package, and I understand that this is very, very important for people, so I've included a 3-day live passive cash flow formula lab training. And this is a must-attend event. Not only will you get 3 days with me learning all the tools and tricks I use to just crush it in the commercial real estate world, but you're also going to get certified to partner with me. That's right. Attending this event will give you the ticket that you need, the certification that you need to partner with me on a deal. This is worth $5,000 by itself, to spend 3 days with me with some, I would say, intense training. But again, I simplify everything. We're gonna pull the curtains back, and you're gonna get to see exactly what we're doing out there in the commercial multifamily world to make the big checks that we're making, and you can make them too. But you must attend this event, and this is how you get certified to partner with me. Now, these are extraordinary bonuses, okay? And these bonuses are truly only for those who are serious about changing their life with passive cash flow. This is the serious stuff right here. All right, here we go. My advanced deal analyzer software. In the basic package, there's my cheat sheet, and I love that cheat sheet. I use it every day. But this one, this is where I throw all the information in, and it spits out maps and graphs and pie charts and all those things that I use that information also to put it into my funding package that I give to lenders and banks. And it really, really tips the scale and makes that funding request that much more robust. And these lenders really like it. There's no question that I don't know what I'm doing when I'm looking at these, and they're not going to question your ability to put a deal together either when you see what kind of deals this analyzer software will put together for you. So not only do I love all of the shiny pictures that it shows, but I love the analysis that it does for me. And it's fantastic when we show potential partners in our deal what their return will be if they partner with us. When we talk about attracting other people's money, OPM, this analyzer software is going to give them the information they need to make an absolute positive decision to move forward as a partner with you, because the numbers look so good. Again, it's so professional that it looks really, really good. Simple to use, input all the information, press a couple of buttons, and you've got a fantastic package for you. Now, how would you like to also be able to include my resume with the funding package? If there is any doubt about your experience, Let's hear somebody have doubt about my experience, all right? With the deals I've done, I'm gonna put my resume together with your buyer profile, and I will be a partner and an advisor for you on your deals, so that when you go to try and get a partner or partners on a deal, you wanna go to a private money lender or a bank, they're gonna look at that funding package in my resume. And again, how powerful is that to be able to use my resume in your funding request or your partner request, and I'll be your partner or advisor. I'm only offering this, as you know, as a special bonus to the select people who sign up today. We're down to 9 packages left. I really love the fact that everybody's still in there doing this. Excellent, excellent action for you, and I'm looking forward to working with you. This is awesome. Access to my private funding resources. How about this? I've got lenders across the country and access to private money lenders in almost every city in the United States. This pro package that I'm making available, this bonus for you, is going to give you an introduction to my lending sources, and I'm going to send you a list of 100 private money lenders in your area. I will personalize and customize a list for you of lenders in your area. I'll put that together, part of my private funding resources, and part of the bonus. If you sign up today, I'll make that available for you as well. Now, here's this deal partnership certification, okay? If you attend, when you attend the 3-day live passive cash flow formula training event, you will be eligible to partner with me. What does that mean? Well, let's say you go out and find a deal, and you just aren't ready to move forward. You're not ready yet. You're not comfortable. It doesn't work for you for whatever reason, but you know it's a deal. I've told you it's a deal because I've told you what to look for, and you'll learn that in the 3-day training, live training. You offer it to me. I'll partner with you on the deal. If you can't buy it, I'll buy it with you, or I'll buy it myself and pay you for bringing it to me. How does that sound? I've got dozens of people I've worked with who brought me deals. I've gone ahead and bought them and then included them as a small partner on the deal with me, and they maintain some ownership. Now it has built their resume on the next deal they find, and they want to go find some funding or go to a bank. They have assets on their balance sheet. They're a partner in an apartment complex or an office building, and they're that much more stabilized and financeable when they go out to buy their next property. It's just a confidence level that you get. So sometimes you're afraid to go do a deal by yourself. So let's do a deal together. And how's that going to do for your confidence in doing more deals going forward? So remember that this certification is awesome, and I love to partner with people. So bring them to me. Let's partner on deals together. All right. Now, another bonus in my pro package, you're going to get a second ticket to my live event. After you attend that 3-day live cash flow training event, you're going to be eligible to partner with me, and you get to bring a business partner, a significant other, a family member to the event with you. Because wouldn't it be nice to have somebody that you care about at the event with you and be as excited about the journey you're about to go on as you are? So, instead of doing this on your own, which is hard enough, bring somebody that you know is going to enjoy this, who's going to motivate you, and who's going to be as excited about it as you are. Because just like I like to partner with people, I also have partners in my business. I love to do business with partners, and I like to partner with people. You should too. Bring a partner with you to the event. I would love to see you there with somebody else, because 2 heads are better than 1. So I'm going to include a second ticket to my 3-day live event, and you can both partner with me. How's that sound? Now, I've got a 6-week live online masterclass. I do a lot of virtual training, a lot of webinars, a lot of things online. I don't want you to miss any of those. So we make sure we record everything, we put it all together, and we package it up so that you can access through a portal, make sure that you can always see any of the trainings that you may have missed, or rewatch one a second or third or fourth or fifth time if you want, because the information is so good, or you want to slow it down or pause it or do some of those things. Hey, you know, we all like Netflix and on demand. I mean, it's kind of the way that we do things now. You get to do that with my online training. You can pause me, you can rewind me, you can do whatever you need so that it really sinks in and you get as comfortable and confident as you can with the information we're presenting. So never miss a training, all right, with my 6-week live on training masterclass. So let me break it all down for you. Don't get discouraged at the price. Remember, I put a package together. You've already seen what the basic and deluxe looks like. Let me just go to the pro, because we've already talked about basic and deluxe. It's going to include the deal partnership certification worth over $10,000. The advanced deal analyzer software, nice little software package for $400. My resume and access to my private funding sources, those are priceless. Can't even put a price on those. And my 6-week live online masterclass valued at just about $3,000 is a real world value of over $33,000. You saw what kind of discount you got for the basic and deluxe. Are you ready for this? Listen, this is everything you get, okay? This is basic and deluxe, and then this is everything that comes. These are the bonuses. We're down to 8. We got 8 bonuses left. You get all of this, everything you see on the screen here, everything I've talked about. Sign up today. Get it all. Go pro. No reason to go basic or deluxe with this. You go pro today, only special, $14.97. That's right, all of it. $14.97. Get it all, go pro today, $14.97. I don't know of a better deal out there, especially one that's going to change your life the way this will. And so, yeah, everybody's signing up now. Watch them go. I know most of you are saying that you want to own apartments anyway. You don't say, I hear people every day in single, someday I want to own apartments. I want to own commercial. I want an office building. I want to own a hotel. I want a bed and breakfast. I want to own a little retail center to, you know, what. This is the last real estate investment training you will ever need, period, because this is the one that takes you to that place. You're not going to need anything else. So get on there real quick while there's a few bonuses left. Go to www.callwithzach.com/PCFF or call 707-247-4248. And I'm not done yet. I told you to stay till the very end. You want to stay till the very end? I'm almost done, I promise. But there's only a couple bonuses left, so I need you to get on and at least start registering for this so you can reserve your bonus. Now, I can't imagine there's anybody left who hasn't decided that they want this or not. Pretty much a no-brainer. But let's see, let's see if I gave it to you for free, if you would really want it now. How about that? I told you to stay till the end. How would you like to get my pro version for free? Let me show you how you can get that. This is my I Did a Deal 100% rebate program. Listen, within the next 12 months, when you or we together do your first deal, and then you let me share your video success story, some property photos, and copies of your checks, I will rebate you 100% of your investment with me. I want you to succeed that bad. You might be looking at this going, okay, it's a rebate program. I'll tell you what I call it. I call it my bribe. I want your video testimony. I want to share this with tens of thousands, if not millions of people. I truly believe in educating people so that they can reach a level of financial freedom. And the more success stories I get from you, the ability I have to share it with more people and show them how happy it's made you, I'm bribing you. So with your small investment today in yourself and in your future, I'll give it back to you in the form of a rebate when you do a deal, or like I said, we do it together and we get to share your video success story. It's an awesome opportunity, and this is how you can get pro today for free, but you got to sign up. All right, this is everything you get. This is the last slide. Go to callwithzach.com/PCFF or call 707-247-4248. It's free, folks. There isn't anywhere else to go from there. So sign up, get your bonuses. There's a couple left. Go ahead and jump on and get yours. And I can't wait to see you at the live training event.
Man, Andrew, this thing is like top of the line. I mean, I'm sitting over here just going through all this stuff that you have put together for people. And let me tell you something, man, like this is what needs to be done right now. Like we are in the perfect market for this to be deployed right now. And the beauty of it is really like there's so many people that can really start here and they just don't think they can. And what they don't even realize yet is like this is the time. Like they need to be doing it now. Like waiting is not going to help them. Waiting is not going to get them where they need to be. Like this is the time for them to start. There is no other time. And you know the ones that have already came on board, congratulations to you. You've gotten everything that he's put together for you. The 3-day event, getting certified, being able to partner with him. I mean, all of that stuff's crazy. I mean, I even got a sneak copy of his cash flow formula software, and that thing is mind blowing what it does. I mean, it spits out performance reports like nothing else, man. I mean, that changes the game for people. I mean, do you understand? Like that software alone could be, $2,000 to $3,000 by itself. I mean, it's amazing what you've done here for $14.97. I mean, I'm blown away that you've done this, man. You said that you were going to do something special for him at the end, and man, have you done that? And I don't even think we have 5 more left right now. So you guys better jump on and get to callwithzach.com, PCFF, or call 707-247-4248 and get on board and get to his 3-day event. That's where the training happens. That's where the rubber hits the road. And that is, my friends, like the number one thing that I can tell you, that if I was to start all over again, and I've been doing this a long time and had massive success, and I've been able to go back and look at my life and what I did right and what I did wrong. And if I could start all over again, I would have started right here like Andrew did, right into small based apartments, get my cash flow built up. And the beauty is he not only teaches you so many different ways to do this, but also how to do it with no money and how to create seller financing. And the trifecta thing is just absolutely ingenious.
Love the
trifecta. Oh man, like that trifecta thing is mind blowing. Just the reality of like what can be done. Because I say this all the time, Andrew, is like people don't know what they don't know. And and the sad part is there's somebody who's watching this training right now and they're going, yeah, I can go do that. And then they're going to go off on their own and they're going to go spend the next 2 to 3 years trying to figure this out, and they're going to miss the market. They're going to miss it. Because they're too caught up in their own ego or their own belief that they can figure this out on their own, and then they don't ever do it. And the reality is they have just cost themselves 2 to 3 years of time that they could have been making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so, look, drop your ego, get in the game, get in this thing. This is game changer right here. This is what he's put together. There's people out there that wouldn't even put half of this into a complete package that what Andrew has done. I mean, I'm blown away what you're doing for him, man. This is what everyone needs right here in their hand. This is one beautiful package rolled up into a bow saying, hey, look, invest in yourself, get started, and this is the way you're going to create a stable life for yourself. I mean, ultimately, I say it all the time, the only way to create the life you want is to get cash flow coming in. There's all kinds of ways to do it, right? You can go out and you can wholesale your way to make money to then start buying rental properties. You could go out and start working in rehabs and then start trying to save money to do it. Or you can take a shortcut. Yep. You can go right into apartment buildings. You go right in it. Forget all the other stuff. Forget all the getting dirty and slinging a hammer and chasing buyers around and trying to, get these deals for wholesale pricing. Go right into a cash flow. Go right into small apartments. And Andrew has laid it out for you. He's not only laid it out for you, he's laid all your scripts, all your evaluations, all the, the basics and the simple processes that you need to do. And that's another thing that you do that I love is the fact that you make people understand that but getting and investing into small apartments isn't all about complexity of big words and all that. It's about keeping it simple to the point to where you do your first and second deal, third deal, fourth deal, because then you start to understand, really more about where the next level goes. And in that point, you might want to learn some of the acronyms, but you don't have to know all the acronyms to be able to be successful at taking down your first small apartment. And that is what I love that you do, keeping it simple, the KISS formula, right?
That's right.
Keep it simple, silly. So I'm all on board with this, man. I think you've done an amazing job. We've never presented anything like what you have put together to our students before. And the reason being is because I've gone through all that other stuff. And honestly, it's junk. And I just say that because a lot of that stuff that's out there is like 10, 15 years old, and it's not current, and it's not up to date. And man, when I saw what you were doing, I realized how current it is and how accurate it is for today's market, and how real it is, and how your deals are current, and how your deals are real, and how you're out there doing this. And so I couldn't think of a better time to bring this to our students and say, look, the time is right now. The choice is yours. You have a choice today, and that is jump in and start creating cash flow to get your life where it needs to be sooner than later, or do you just choose to do nothing and keep doing what you've always done and hope for different results, and it's not going to happen? And that's the reality to this. So you've got to make that choice, because the choice is yours. I want to start creating cash flow. Go to callwithzack, ZACK.com/PCFF, which stands for Passive Cash Flow Formula. So PCFF is the hashtag at the end. Callwithzack.com/PCFF. Or you can always call and speak to one of our student advisors right here in the office, 707-247-4248. They know everything about this. They've been through it all. They know Andrew personally, and they can help you. They can answer questions for you. They can guide you down the right path. But it's your choice right now. I mean, that's the beauty of this. And I think we only have like 3 left right now. So you guys got to do something.
Take
if
action.
You don't do
Snag
anything
it
right
up.
now. Yeah,
Snag it up.
they got to. Got to take some action. You're going to run out, and don't do that. Be serious about this. Because here's the reality. You started real estate for a reason. Let's just be honest with each other right now, okay? I'm going to be your coach right now. You started real estate for a reason. You saw a TV commercial, you bought a book, something that talked to you about building passive cash flow, about living the lifestyle that you want, to travel the world and have mailbox money coming in from your rental properties. That's why we start real estate. But then we have to realize there's other things that sometimes we have to do to get to that, because we don't have enough knowledge or understanding of how to just go into that. So people get stuck in wholesaling, or they get stuck in rehabbing, when the ultimate goal is to build enough cash flow to be able to walk away from your jobs. Guys, Andrew has given you that shortcut right here. He's saying, look, stop with all the other stuff and focus in on what I'm telling you to do, and I will help you get down that path to start creating cash flow. And the beauty of it is he's giving you everything you need. He's got the funding sources lined up. He's got the resumes in place. He's got the funding packages laid out. He's got the understanding of how to, work with private investors to get funds to your deals. He's got the live training to walk you through. He's got the software to help evaluate your deals. Even one step further, he says, look, if you find it and you're not in a position to do anything with it, bring it to me so I can partner on that deal, whether that's buying you out or leaving you in for a small fraction. However, you've got everything covered here. That's the beauty of this, and you guys have got to wake up and see that. Like, there's nobody in this market that I know of that is doing what Andrew's doing right now, and at the level that he's doing it at, or are they even close to being able to achieve what he's achieved, raising over $750 million? I don't know anybody who's done that. I mean, I even know some high-level investors that have been doing it for a long time that own a bunch of stuff, but they haven't done that. I know people that have been doing cash flow properties for a long time, and they stopped. And now they just teach it. So they're still teaching from 8, 9, 10 years ago strategies. They're not doing it anymore. I know these guys, right? I know them. I don't hang out with them, but I know them. Andrew steps into the picture and he says, look, I'm tired of everybody, spitting out old information. Let's bring it current. Let's bring it real. Let's show people what's really working in today's market. And that is what you just saw today. Right here in your face, it is by far the #1 most successful training that you'll ever get in your lap when it comes to getting you to cash flow real estate the fastest possible. And Andrew has shown that he is a force to be reckoned with. He's an authority figure in this marketplace. And the beauty of that is you get the opportunity to jump on board with him early and get all that extra training from him. Because I promise you this, as this keeps going on, maybe next year, it won't have all this in here. It just won't. I know it. So you got to do it now. And you got to jump on this market right now. You got to be active in this market. You got to get the right training for this market. And you got to build for your future right now. That is the key to this business, is understanding that now is the time for you to take that jump and that trust in yourself and make the choice that you know you need to make right now. And that's what I'm passionate about, is seeing real investors coming on board here like Andrew and sharing with you guys real stuff and how he's laid it out so that you can do it. Literally just follow his process and you can't help but fall into success. That's the beauty of this. I mean, Andrew, you've done an amazing job. For $14.97,
I know.
That's it right there.
Well, they're your students, Zach. It's for your students. I love working with your students.
I know. And my students are great. And the good thing is that they follow direction. They follow direction. You give them a game plan, they'll go do it, and you'll get all the testimonials from that. I mean, that's why we have so many testimonials over here, because it's all about, they know we're real. They know that I'm out there actively doing real estate. They know I'm actively involved in the market. They know I'm real. And bringing a guy like you on board, as real as you are when it comes to this, it's just a marriage made in heaven. So I encourage everyone to listen to what I'm saying to you. If you hear nothing else this entire hour and something we've spent together, do one thing: get this course. That's it. Do one thing: get this course. I don't care how you have to do it. Listen, if you say to yourself, Zach, I just don't have $14.97, then call the office. Call 707-247-4248. Talk to a student advisor and say, look, I want this. How can I get in? I need some help. Talk to me. What can you do for me? We'll work with you. I don't want anybody not getting this course in their hands. So you've got to make the effort to ask for the help, and we'll figure out a way to get it done.
That's
awesome. Are you okay with that, Andrew?
That's awesome. Absolutely. I'm here to help people reach their level of success however we can help them get there.
And that's exactly why we work well together, because we're the same way. We want everybody to get where they need to be. Just sometimes, look, people need a little help, and but we can't give it to you if you don't call us and ask for it. So I encourage you, pick up the phone, dial 707-247-4248. Call that right now. Talk to a student advisor. Tell them you were just on here listening to us and that you need some help. You want it, but you need some help. How can we help you? And let's see if we can't figure something out that makes sense for you and for us. And that's the beauty of this whole relationship. This is about you. Choice is yours right now. Make that choice. Make the right choice. That's what I always say. The right choice is investing in yourself, investing in your education so that you can go to the next level. That's what I say. So listen, Andrew, we've had a great time on here listening to this, watching all of the case studies, and you explaining everything. I mean, what's some words that you would share with my listeners that are still on and just listening in right now? What's something that you would say and encourage them?
I would just say, and this is one of the things I hear the most, Zach, is people are like, yeah, but I can't even do a single family deal. What makes you think I can go do a commercial deal? And I tell them, I mean, again, that's where I got my start. It's nothing to be afraid of. You have to take action. And since I've laid it all out for you in the course, it truly is a place you can start. It's not this mythical, magical place out there that you can't get to just because you've never done a deal before. You can do this, and I can show you how. I have so much proof that shows how people can do these as their very first deal. So why not make it your very first deal? Do this.
Right. Do this. I love that. Yeah, I mean, break free from the chains that bind you down right now, that make you believe that you can't do something. You know, that is really the key here. Like, you're lying to yourself if you say to yourself you can't do this, because you can. Especially following Andrew's training, like, you can do this at a whole nother level that you even think you can. I encourage you to believe in you. Trust you. You are the one that can make this a reality by getting the right training. Invest in yourself today. Jump on board with Andrew, all of his students, and watch what happens. It's what I love about what Andrew does. He's in this full force, working hand in hand with his students, making things a reality. But you've got to make the choice. The choice is yours. Make the right choice today. Callwithzach.com/PCFF, or there again, pick up the phone, dial 707-247-4248. It's all about you right now, my friends. Make it happen. Andrew, I so much appreciate you being on here. You've done a great job. You've put an amazing package together for people to get started. I mean, your success just breeds other success. And so
Thank you.
Kudos to
Thank
you,
you,
man,
Zach.
for doing
Appreciate
what you
it.
do. And, oh, you're so welcome, man. And listen, everyone, you're in good hands. I can't wait to start hearing about all your success stories coming in as Andrew fills us in on all this stuff. And hopefully I'll see you at his event, because you know I'm going to be there. Look, I know where to go to get the real training. Andrew's got the real training. So I'm going to go learn from him just like you guys are. So I appreciate all you still being here. Don't be late.
Thank you. Look forward to working with you and partnering with you.
Don't give up on yourself. This is the path for you. Call 707-247-4248 or go to callwithzach.com/PCFF. For $14.97, you can't beat it. You can't touch it with a stick. Right there is where you're at. Jump on board. If you need help, call us. Until next time, my friends, this is Zach Childress with your REI Success Academy family. And we'll see you on another one real soon. Bye now.